the baseline. That's the rebound, puts it home. Hughes gets right to the rim. Narrow puts up a three. After months of waiting, finally, it's back to basketball season. Boise State women's basketball starting the season with a matchup against Multnomah right here on the Mountain West Network. With Bailey Hawkins, Chris Lewis here with you. For Boise State, sure, it felt like a long time ending the season on a 7-game losing streak, but that's how last campaign ended. So when you start a new season, it's a chance to start fresh with a new group.
Yeah, they have a strong freshman class coming in, and they also have a grad transfer from Oklahoma that didn't get to play last year, but they're looking to change the dynamic this year, so I'm interested to see how that will go.
Well, you talked a little bit about the experience that Boise State returns, and it showcased itself in their exhibition game last week, an 84-60 win against the College of Idaho.
Yeah, the juniors, they've had some time to gain experience playing college basketball, and it's actually interesting to me to see how the freshmen performed. You typically expect freshmen to be a little nervous, but it seemed like the freshmen weren't phased at all during that game.
So the freshmen in the exhibition look comfortable. It will be interesting to see how they handle the first game where the stats actually count. Between Mary Kay Narrow, Abby Muse, Elodie Lalott, Anna Osley, Trista Hull, Jada Clark. That is a lot of experience, though, coming back and the key returning players for Boise State. Rebounding was strong a year ago. You see the numbers there. The question leading into this season, how will the shooting rebound after they shot just 27% from three-point range a season ago? Boise State in Multnomah to begin the 2022-23 campaign here at ExtraMile Arena. The action coming up next on the Mountain West Network. The national anthem before a new season of hoops. At ExtraMile Arena, that looks slightly different with a new court design. We'll get into that as the broadcast moves on. Chris Lewis with Bailey Hawkins for the first time. Welcome to the Mountain West Network.
Hi.
Good to have you aboard. You're a former basketball player, multiple schools, so it'll be fun to have your commentary to get your insight in what should be a fun season of basketball.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to see how the girls do tonight.
So Boise State in Multnomah is the showdown to begin the season. Multnomah is an NAIA school out of Portland. They've been a member of the Cascade Conference since 2015. You can see their starting lineups. They've already played one game that counted for them in their standings. A 107-48 win over Pacific Union. For Multnomah, this game's technically an exhibition when an NAIA team faces a Division I team. And for Boise State, this is a game that counts. You can have one of these games against an NAIA opponent count to your records, and that's how Boise State wants to start the season, getting off the mat from what was a rough ending to last year where they lost their last 7 games. But a lot returning with the influx of a couple of new players. Their expectations is to have a much better conference season.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how much the dynamic changes from last year with, a strong freshman class coming in and a grad transfer from Oklahoma, so that should be interesting.
Maya Hansen, you can see her, as well as the rest of the Boise State players looking at the video board at the top of ExtraMile Arena. With a new season, of course, that means you get a new starting lineup video.
Yeah.
That gets everybody excited.
Yeah, those are always fun.
A lot of the poses are filmed a few weeks before you even play a game. And, the players have some fun with it. Different poses, different smiles, some silliness, some seriousness.
Yeah.
It's always well put together by the Boise State athletics crew. Getting ready to introduce the starting lineups for the season opener. Maya Hansen getting a start in this game, a freshman, 5'9" out of Billings, Montana. She joins another freshman in the starting five, and Danny Bays, who did start in the exhibition that Boise State won 84-60 against College of Idaho. The rest of the starters, familiar faces: Mary Kay Narrow, Abby Muse, Elodie Lalott. Lalott, the post player. Muse, you see right there, the defensive force, one of the best shot blockers in the Mountain West. And then Mary Kay Narrow, who's the playmaker, the junior out of Beaverton, Oregon. The table setter who stands at 5'11", one of the more unique players on this Boise State team. So last year, Boise State won just 8 games. Remember, this is a team that had the four-peat in the Mountain West, winning the championship 2017, 18, 19, and 20. Last 2 years, not that same kind of success for Coach Gordy Bresnell, but he believes that this group has the pieces to put together a more competitive group within the league.
Both of these teams are looking to redeem themselves from their schedules last year, so should be an interesting start.
Significant height advantage for Abby Muse to take the tip against Alicia Portis. It's Boise State with the first possession and a Mary Kay Narrow three right out of the chute. So how about that to start the season? A player who shot just 27% from three a season ago knocks down the first triple.
And that's always a great sign to get hot right out the start. So.
And Narrow using her length defensively to knock away the shot from Portis. Part of the benefits of having a guard with the size of Narrow at 5'11". You can see she's locked up against Stoneberg Carter, who's just 5'2", and creates the travel.
Yeah, that height difference can be a huge factor in whether or not you're successful on defense and offense.
So the Broncos preseason number 7 in the Mountain West. A Bays three drops. 2 possessions, 2 3-pointers for Boise State. Bays in the exhibition knocked down one of her 6 3-point attempts. Graham in the lane, runner off the mark. And the Broncos pull away the rebound with Maya Hansen. Ahead of the pack, Bays off the rim, Muse right there.
Broncos are off to a strong start. It's always great to start off strong, build that confidence, and keep it going the rest of the game.
Well, Multnomah's a team that likes to play fast. The Lions from the Cascade Conference, when they play their league games, they like to press, they force turnovers. We'll see if they have that same approach against Boise State on the road. Well executed, and Abby Muse made that Elodie Lalott rolling to the rim off the pass from Bays.
Multnomah needs to get some points on the board right now to build their confidence back up.
What defensive instincts by Muse to knock that pass away. Couldn't have designed a better start for Boise State. Already the game's first 10. Lalott has it swatted. Portis, the first Multnomah defensive stop. Ring can, a whistle. And the first time we have a foul, it's Maya Hansen. Guilty for her first, and the team's first. Our officials today: Gordon Torrigo, Adria Molina, Taylor Mink. 3-pointer off, and Boise State corrals the board. Narrow lines up another triple. This one's off the front of the rim. The first Bronco miss from distance. Rickan coast to coast, all the way to the rim. Scoop with the right hand. Well done.
And that was a very athletic move.
Multnomah 6-23 a year ago. Bays a 3-ball, bullseye. She can shoot it. Danny Bays, a freshman from Australia.
Yeah, she's had a lot of experience. Although she's a freshman, she's played a lot of basketball.
Coach Bresnell excited to have her to the mix. A team that could really use some shooters. And last year, just 27% from 3. How about that 3? Way deep from Elise Graham. So Multnomah is settled. within 8. So it's like a zone defense here for Multnomah. They have Noma on the front of the jerseys. Muse with the aggressive closeout goes right by it and lays it in. Have Multnomah aggressive in the passing lanes, and Muse takes advantage. Stonebarger leaves, top of the yard for Rincane. Boise State playing man-to-man to begin this game. Straightaway 3, Graham well short. Mays, Lalatz, double, ripped away. Here's Portis, 1-on-2, to the rim, and a blocking foul.
Coast to coast.
Bays called for the foul, her first, and the team's second. So Alasia Portis, she's from Portland, playing for the school in Portland. 5'10", grad student, misses the first free throw.
Yeah, Alasia's a strong player for them, averaging 12 points from last season, so.
12 points and 8 rebounds a game. Well, she missed both free throws. Lalat goes reverse. Pretty move.
Yeah, that was a beautiful move.
A junior out of Garden Grove, California. 17-5, Boise State, a hot offensive start. Narrow, locking up Rincane to the corner. Stonebarger 3, bounces back iron. Multnomah the offensive rebound, then a tie-up. Hanson got her hands in there. The arrow keeps it with Multnomah. Spin in the lane, Lalat playing defense. Portis is shot off, and here come the Broncos. Bays again, wants 3. Front rim, Muse just too tall, and gets fouled on the way to the rim.
Yeah, it's always nice to have those long arms to just be able to reach up and grab those rebounds. And it seems to be working great for her. She is, I believe, almost second all time in blocks per game.
Yeah, last year, 1.3 blocks a contest, which is a staggering number. First free throw counted. 66% free throw shooter a year ago. 2 seasons back, Muse was named to the All-Mountain West freshman team. Second, puts it down. So Muse already with 6 out of the gate. 6 of the Bronco, 19. And no matter who you're facing, seeing the ball go through, especially from behind the arc, something that Boise State fans have been looking forward to. Narrow the steal, ahead of the pack. Muse once more. The pass from Hanson.
Way to look up from Hanson.
Multnomah plays fast. Mays, transition 3, count it. Transition defense, a point of emphasis coming into this one. Muse rolls to the rim, narrow that time with the setup, and right now Muse has no match. $23 points in the game's first 5 minutes and change. Heck of a pace. Muse commits the foul as the quick first step. Dalila McRickan, and for the Bronco forward, it's the first foul and the team's third. 3 balls aplenty in the early going in Boise. The city of threes is back. Boise State has made 9 of their first 13 shots on the season, including 3 of their 5 made threes. Now, that's significant. Last season, and I know the level of competition, Multnomah and NAIA school, but last season, Boise State made only 4 threes per game.
Oh, wow.
In the first stretch of action this season, they had 3 triples.
Abby Muse is on fire tonight.
Muse already with 10. Brincan at the free throw line, connects on both. She was fouled by Muse before the break. Boise State still in control. They don't match up with Bays. All alone, 3-ball is off. Muse, you mentioned that she's on fire, not just scoring, but on the boards. Here's a three, cash from Maya Hansen. 26-10 Boise State, and there's Muse. The tower down low. Hard to get up shots over the 6'3" forward.
Like I said, those long arms have been very beneficial for her.
Starting five still on the floor for Boise State. Excellent reach by the Australian Bays, but it goes out of bounds. So the first opportunity for substitutions, Coach Gordy Presnell bringing in Trista Hull, amongst a couple of others, but Hull, the sixth player last season for Boise State, big off the bench, a 6'2" forward. So Natalie Pasco making her Boise State debut, checking in off the bench. And Mary-Kate Narrow, the experienced guard, picks up that rebound. Mandy Simpson also in as well. Simpson coming in off the bench, the Oklahoma transfer. Boise State can't convert there. Graham overheads. Cordes, fadeaway, bucket. Broncos lead, trend to 14, and a transition drive yields a whistle. Natalie Pasco is fouled.
This is going to be an exciting freshman class to watch this year.
Natalie Pasco, one of them. You'll see her on the drive. Pasco, a freshman out of Danville, California. Perfect on the first free throw. Her first point as a Bronco. The San Francisco Chronicle Player of the Year connects on both, and that's something that you can relate to. I mean, you've had multiple stops as well in your college career, so scoring your first point as a member of a new team has to feel special.
Oh yeah, definitely. And as the season opens, you know, just that first game, it's amazing.
It's funny, no matter how experienced a player can be, they always tell you there's still some jitters going into that first one.
Oh, definitely. That's what I was looking out for tonight, is to see how the team reacts to the atmosphere after, you know, we had the exhibition game and both teams have played one game, but it's still the first couple home games after not playing a while always causes some jitters.
An exhibition is one thing. I mean, there were fans for it. It wasn't one of those closed exhibitions where only the coaches can see. No, there were fans at that one, but it wasn't a radio broadcast. It wasn't a video broadcast to it. And maybe most importantly, the stats from those exhibitions don't count. Now what you do goes on your permanent record.
Yeah, exactly. Could be a little more frightening once those stats are on your record.
Good-looking numbers for Boise State so far, shooting 63% in the first quarter. Sampson, a post player, transfer from Oklahoma against the double team. Keeps the dribble. A reach and a foul. Bailey Dickerson wanted the tie-up. Instead, it's a foul against the sophomore. So the first on Dickerson. That's the third on Multnomah. How about Simpson again? Great pass, excellent cut, and that's basketball. Natalie Pasco off the rocket feed from Simpson.
That's a great finish.
Broncos in complete control of the first quarter, and that's a gorgeous spin by Graham. Couldn't get the shot to go. Rebound dug out by Bays. High post, Simpson. Overheads, Bays. She's a shooter. That time off the back of the rim. Already, though, a few good look for Bays. She had 6 3-point attempts in the exhibition. That's an extra step there. The officials won't let that one slide. Elise Graham with the travel.
Looks like she tried to spin but got caught up on her feet.
Multnomah's head coach, Tim Beery, used to be an SID in the athletic department at Multnomah, a volleyball assistant coach as well as the women's basketball head coach.
Oh, he's done it all.
Got all the roles, from SID to head coach. That's the difference when you go to the different levels. Of course, Boise State, NCAA Division I, Multnomah, the Cascade Conference, NAIA school. They turn it over there. Narrow, 9 points, 4 boards, and close to 4 assists a game last season. Imagine she'll be at the top of the scouting report for a lot of opposing teams. Well, if Mandy Simpson can find her form that led her to commit to Oklahoma and play 3 seasons there, she could be a big boost to this Boise State team.
Yeah, I'm excited to see her play, and especially back in her hometown.
Mays goes backdoor. Deposits 2 for the Lions. Simpson again. That time off the rim. Long steps. Gianna Ponce. Her first 2 of the night. 45 seconds to play in the first quarter. It's been a good one for Boise State so far. Narrow has it blocked. The rotation from Shayla Mays, a San Jose State transfer. Now another year at Multnomah. Kick back out, Pasco, 3-ball, no. Simpson chases the board, hits off the hip of a Lion, but then ricocheted back off of Simpson. No, it did not hit Simpson again, so it stays Boise State ball.
Oh, wow.
You can see there the numbers favoring Boise State. So 1 hit ricochet, the second one, it looked like it had a chance to hit Simpson, but the officials were on top of it, did not. Entry pass knocked away, telegram from Pasco. Boise State recovers. Anna Osley in, junior for Boise State from Arizona. Shot clock down to 6. And the pass is picked off. Mays against Narrow. Mays to the rim and gets the roll. So a strong finish to the quarter.
Mays coming off a 26-point game, her first game back. She's looking, she's looking to get back in the swing of things in this game and prove herself again.
The defensive pressure for Multnomah picked up at the end of the first. But still was Abby Muse having a strong opening frame, 10 points. And the Broncos lead by 14. Second quarter at ExtraMile Arena. Basketball season back in Boise. A foul out of the gate to start quarter number 2. Called on Ponce, her first. And that allows Abby Muse to head back to the line. Can't get the roll on the first free throw.
Yeah, sometimes when you don't necessarily have the same height as the other team, you try to get those hands in there and results in a foul.
And does Boise State have the height advantage in this one? A bunch of players over 6 feet tall, wide. Multnomah can't say the same. Of course, different levels. Multnomah from the Cascade Conference, NAIA. Boise State has their sights on hoping to contend in the Mountain West. Plenty of college basketball throughout the day. Mandy Simpson steps in front. Great recovery, though, for Multnomah. A Turkish shot over the rim and drops in. What a move. As Multnomah finished the quarter strong, and Hatfield gets that one to drop. And here's Multnomah again off the Bronco miss. Mays. Hatfield. That one was way off, not even close. Mallory Hatfield, who's a Boise native.
Must feel good playing in your hometown.
A freshman from Boise, so she doesn't really have too much experience playing outside of Boise at this point. Simpson, count it. Speaking of players from Boise, Mandy Simpson from Boise, went to Oklahoma, spent 3 seasons there. Great reach by Muse. She has such active hands. Here come the blue and orange. Simpson can't get the entry pass. Other side, Pasco, right place, right time. Six points for Pasco. 2 of 5 shooting in 6 minutes. The runner by the Boise native Hatfield, well short. Here comes Boise State. Hanson, pull up Jay, yes. Timeout, Multnomah. Boise State on the move, 39-20 lead. It's Maya Hanson running the show. One of many freshmen making their debut. First game of a new season. Boise State and Multnomah. Exhibition for Multnomah. This one counts for Boise State. 39-20 advantage. Out of the timeout, 3-ball laser goes right down by Dalila Rincan. And a kickball on the other end. Rincan, a 30% three-point shooter from a season ago. Entry pass off the inbounds, a whistle. Abby Muse sealed off. And a foul on the Lions. Second foul on Bailey Dickerson. Too hot to handle for Buse. Multnomah, one thing they do well, force turnovers.
A way they can get back in this game is to capitalize off of our mistakes.
3-on-3 as Boise State forces a turnover, and Natalie Pasco rumbles down the lane. 41-23. As expected, Boise State showing itself to be the superior team in the early going. A bump and a foul as Alasia Portis will head to the line. First foul on Mandy Simpson.
Yeah, Portis is a physical driver.
So Portis will get a couple of free throws. She missed a pair earlier on. Elodie Lalott back in for Boise State. The junior out of Garden Grove, California. Then Danny Bays also re-enters. Pasco heads out with 8 points. Grad student from Portland misses another free throw. Second around and out to 0 for 4 from the line. Rough going. Last season she shot 74% from the stripe.
Once again, could be those first few games nerves.
Bays, double team on Muse, leaves open Lalott, who's fouled. Elodie Lalott, she struggled from the line last year, just 46%. First for Lalott, that one looks smooth. Again, her form looks good. Just the results were not there last season from the stripe.
Definitely something she was probably working on in the offseason.
And that one was perfect. Elodie Lalott, 2 for 2 from the line on that trip. A 20-point lead for Boise State. And on that note of, correcting the things in your game that you consider a weakness, that wasn't just a theme for the players for Boise State. Nice move by Rincan to finish. That was also a theme for the coaching staff. Cordy Presnell told us yesterday how often he and the assistant coaches would just spend time self-evaluating everything surrounding the program, from on the court to travel arrangements to meals, everything.
Yeah, you'd be surprised how many little things go into success.
You win 4 championships in a 4-year span. You think you have things rolling. Danny Baines knocks down a 3. Have a couple years in a row where you don't have those same kind of results. So it makes you think, what do we need to do? What do we need to do better? Never satisfied. 3-pointer from the left wing. Rincan knocks it down.
The last few possessions, Multnomah's been able to get in there and score.
Well, so does Lalatz. Hammer to the ground, no call. She beat the defenders down the floor. Boise State scored the game's first 10 points. Have been in control ever since. Difficult 3 by Mays, no. Rebound pinballs off the body of Lalat. It stays here.
Once again, Portis is a physical player. She's able to get her hands in there.
Portis with a blazing first step. Gets past Lalat and lays it in. Struggling from the line, but not from the floor. She is 4. Lalat, the answer. Yes, ma'am.
That's a nice find by Bays.
Double figures for Lalat. She is 10. Second Bronco in double figures. Another great move to get past the defense from Portis. That time the shot goes in and out. Muse, 2-on-1. Beautiful Euro step through traffic.
Yeah, that was beautiful by Muse.
A team high 13. The 10th consecutive year Boise State's opening game is at home. This time with a new looking floor at ExtraMile Arena. New court design. Much cleaner, classic look. Muse has it knocked away. The reach by Gibson stays with the Broncos.
Gibson was able to reach her hands in there at the last second, right before Muse was able to go up.
You see Muse heading off. That's because Mandy Simpson checks back in. It will be interesting to see what Coach Presnell settles into for his starting lineup. Reverse layup off the mark by Narrow. Narrow, you would imagine, is a staple in that starting lineup, as well as Abby Muse and Elodie Lalat. Top of the key 3, Portis shorts. Outside of that, we'll see how consistent the starting 5 is. For example, in the exhibition, Mandy Simpson got the start. She came off the bench in this game. Bays started both the exhibition and this one. A little too aggressive on the drive, but it settles to Narrow. So between Narrow, Bays, Muse, and Lalat, they might be the 4 locked-in starters, or at least at this point. Who that 5th starter will be could be the question. Maya Hansen started this game tonight. Air ball from Rincan.
Yeah, those juniors bring 2 previous years of experience. Experience is a big thing, you know.
They're juniors. They have 3 more seasons of eligibility, including this one. Danny Bays, 12 points. That is her 4th 3 of the night. 4 for 7 from behind the arc. And if she can provide a consistent three-point threat, that would go a long way for opening up what could be the strength of Boise State, the interior play. What a block shot, Mary Kay Narrow with the rejection. Shot clock down to 5. Can the Broncos close this defensive possession? 2 to shoot, top of the key, not in time. The shot goes in from Graham, but that all started with Mary Kay Narrow saying no.
Yeah, that's some great defense here by the Broncos.
I imagine those are painful when you hit a 3, especially a contested one that doesn't count.
Oh, most definitely.
The NCAA rankings of wins leaders, Coach Gordy Presnell on that list. We'll highlight that a little bit later on and what he's been able to accomplish as the Boise State head coach, the longest tenured coach in the Mountain West Conference. 18 years on the Broncos sideline. Circus layup goes and one. Alasia Portis, the hoop and the harm.
Yeah, it's obvious that Portis is not afraid of that contact. She's able to get in there and draw the foul.
Foul on Muse, but she can't get those free throws to go. She shakes her head as she moves back down the floor. It's been her bugaboo to this point. Anna Osley, rainbow 3. Doesn't go. What a bounce pass. Simpson to Muse, and one. That interior passing from big to big, that's always special.
Oh, yeah.
A 15-point half for Muse. Make it 16. A perfect 6 for 6 from the floor. Crossover dribble, slicing into the paint. Rink and layup, no. Muse digs out the rebound. Broncos ahead of the pack. Osley dribbles. Looks, fires, entry. Simpson, Osley, 3. Yes!
There's definitely a difference from last year to this year regarding three-point shooting.
7 first half threes. Even in the non-conference, Boise State a season ago struggled from behind the arc, making just 4 threes a game last season. Step back 3, no.
We mentioned working on things in the offseason. That's definitely something they must have been working on.
Shooters shoot. Simpson has it poked away. A 63-point half with still 50 seconds left. Inbounds to Pasco, mid-range. See a lot of threes and then a lot of shots in the paint. Very rarely do you see an inbounds play designed for a mid-range jumper.
Yeah. It almost just looked too easy for her.
Boise State has had some mid-range specialists over the years, thinking of Jade Lavelle, who's now a member of Arizona, which will be fun to pay attention to for Boise State fans. A Bronco for a few seasons. Went to Arizona State, now at Arizona in the Pac-12. Deanna Weaver, another player who was excellent in operating in that mid-range area a few years back. Shot clock turned off. Boise State with the final possession of the half. Pasco, 3. Yes, ma'am.
Boise State is looking confident from the 3.
Half-court shot nearly dropped for Graham. But for a team that made just 4 threes a game a season ago, they doubled that total in the first half of the season. Elodie Lalonde showing that the interior works just as well. Boise State doubling up Multnomah. That guy right there. Give him a jersey. Knock down a shot from half court here at halftime. All right, let's lock in on this one. This is horse. You got to answer or else you get a letter.
Oh, no.
That was close. H.
Oh.
Get the H. Hey, you don't match. You don't match. You get the H.
Yeah.
Well, Boise State not only matched Multnomah, they doubled Multnomah.
Yeah.
First half, 68-34. All Broncos in a season opening half that really could not have been much better for Coach Gordy Presnell and company. Abby Muse got the ball rolling. A first half where she was tough to stop. No surprise, she's much bigger than everybody on the opposing team.
Yeah, the lineup for Multnomah just has nothing to stop Abby Muse. She's able to get those touches around the paint and finish. She's having a great night.
Whether it's running the floor, beating her player down, getting rebounds and second chance opportunities, or Bronco guards finding her in stride, she showed the versatility that helped her average 10 points per game, as well as 8 rebounds. Well, what you don't see there is her impact on the defensive end. Right there! That's that defense that we're talking about with Muse, who averaged about a block and a half per contest a season ago. She was 7th in the Mountain West in block shots, and that helped Boise State be able to stop opponents. The question coming into this year was, would Boise State have the offense, namely the shooting, that could help them contend in the league? Well, after a year where they shot just 27% from 3, they look much improved. Again, it's only one game in.
Yeah, the question is, will Boise State be able to carry this into the Mountain West Conference? They're looking pretty confident right now.
Adding in Danny Bay should help, the freshman from Australia who could really shoot it. Osley led the team in threes made a season ago, connected on that one. There's a lot of Bays from that left side of the floor. She seems to like that left wing, the freshman from Brisbane, Australia. That helped Boise State go out to this 68-34 lead. Halftime from ExtraMile Arena. We'll have more courtside after this. We'll look at the stats in the first half. Multnomah and Boise State in the season opener. Offensive numbers great on the Boise State side. 62% shooting, 50% from 3. That's 8 for 16. So not just the percentage, but the volume as well. They've made their free throws, something that didn't always happen a season ago, and winning the rebounding battle plus 12. For Multnomah, again, struggling to shoot, only 27% from 3, and no surprise, the team that's much smaller being beaten on the boards. So those are some of the numbers from the first half of things as Boise State, from the opening tip, they scored the game's first 10 points and haven't really looked back, opening up a 34-point lead, 68-34. Boise State looking to contend this year in the Mountain West, where they were preseason number 7 in the league. Everybody looking up at UNLV, team that was picked to win the Mountain West. They were the conference champions a season ago. New Mexico got a couple of first place votes, but right now this league is run by the Rebels after Boise State had won the conference tournament championship for 4 straight years. It was New Mexico, then UNLV, taking the last 2 tournament titles. Now, one thing to have on your radar, looking ahead, Boise State's game this season in Las Vegas against UNLV will be nationally televised on CBS Sports Network. So one of the rare national TV women's basketball games for Boise State. That'll be fun to watch.
Yeah, we love to see that for women's basketball especially.
You can see the rest of the poll there. Colorado State, always tough. Wyoming, difficult to win in Laramie. San Diego State, Nevada. They're the teams ahead of Boise State, with Air Force, Fresno State, San Jose State, and Utah State rounding out the Mountain West. First half, a lot to like if you're a Boise State fan, starting out with some threes. Danny Bays setting the pace. He had 12 in the first half. One of many freshmen that helped Boise State get going. And I know, Daly, that was one thing that you were looking at coming into this game, how the Boise State freshmen would debut.
Yeah, the freshmen are definitely changing the dynamic from last year. They're able to make those threes. They're able to add their impact. And it's only their second time playing a game on the Broncos floor. So it's been very interesting and fun to watch them.
Boise State had an exhibition last week. They won it against the College of Idaho. This is the first game that counts on this new-looking floor at ExtraMile Arena. Second half coming up next here on the Mountain West Network. Boise State and Multnomah season opener at ExtraMile Arena. A lot to like for Boise State in that first half.
Yeah, Boise State has been able to not only score from the inside, but from the outside as well. They're utilizing a lot of players. They have a lot of players that are coming in, making an impact, and they have players inside who will get the job done. Muse, Lalott, they're in there making their impact inside, while our shooters are knocking down threes left and right.
And that could be one of the keys. Boise State with Abby Muse and LD Lalott. Players on the interior that have shown the ability to score, not just in games against NCAAW opponents, but they've done it in the Mountain West. The question is, can the shooting around them open up the floor and prevent the double teams? Players like Natalie Pasco, Danny Bays, and even Anna Osley, who was a member of the team last season. Those will be the players tasked with opening things up for people like Mandy Simpson, who had a good run in that first half, the transfer from Oklahoma who plays the post. But Bays got hot from three. She made 4 of her 7 three-point attempts. And Mary Kay Narrow, the table setter, doing a little bit of everything like she usually does.
Yeah, Boise State's looking confident, but will they carry this confidence into the Mountain West Conference?
Coach Presnell has seen it all and then some. The active wing leaders. Of course, you got some legends, absolute legends on that list. And right amongst that group is the legend in Boise, Gordy Presnell. 4 times in a 4-year span, and then 5 in 6 years Mountain West Tournament championships. With a consistent coaching staff, Heather Sower, Carrie Ann Ramirez, Mike Petrino back for a 2nd year. Boise State, Multnomah, half number 2. Multnomah had a decent run to end the first quarter, start the second quarter. That was the best that they've looked on the night.
Yeah, they were able to draw some fouls, just not able to knock down those free throws.
Forcing turnovers is how they did it. Portis does just that to start half 2. Boise State's played a man-to-man defense throughout. We've seen a mix of zone and man from Multnomah. Portis to the rim, gets fouled. So Alicia Portis to head back to the free throw line. You can see her mimicking her shooting motion. It's been a place where she struggled. She's 0 of 5 from the line.
Yeah, she's made some nice physical drives, but has not been able to knock down those free throws.
Now 0 for 6. Yeah, she shot 74% from the line last year. That's a good percentage.
Yeah, definitely.
Finally, one goes. Before the ball even inbounded, a whistle. Issue with the clock. I believe it started to move before the ball was even inbounded. So they need to reset that to 30. Taking it out of the basket. All right, 29's close enough. Narrow out of Beaverton, Oregon, has the height to use those overhead passes. Hanson a 3, not quite. Muse with the pickup of the board and deposits 2. 70-35. Might have to break out the record book in this game. 100 doesn't seem like it's much to even have suspense about. It's how many over 100 if they keep up this current pace. Muse right towards us. And Bailey, you're right back in the action.
Here I go. It's time to play again.
Hasn't been too long since you've been out on the sidelines. Here we go, another look. Hey, the ball just can't stay away. Was it 3 stops in college? And now here on the sidelines, delivering the analysis. Good spin by Mays.
Multnomah is a team that loves those drives. They love to get there right around the basket.
An athletic play to rip it away for Graham, but she gets called for the foul. First on Graham. Yeah, Graham, that face of the look of being stunned that the whistle could even think about being blown.
Multnomah seems to be more aggressive coming out in the second half.
Active hands forces another steal. Stonebarger. Contested 3, Rankin, no. Whistle, rebound, foul on Mays.
Some physical contact down there.
Don't think Bays liked the extra leg swing there.
No, not at all.
Well, when you're the team in Multnomah, undersized, what are some of the things that you try to do to remain competitive in the game?
Yeah, definitely make up for it by being aggressive on defense.
One of the things that you usually hear when you're the underdog, you need to make up for either a difference in size or initial talent, is you shoot a lot of threes. Now, Multnomah's men's basketball team, I looked this up, saw it on Wikipedia, don't know how true it is, but I saw it there. I just wanted to bring it to the table. Their men's basketball team set a record for the amount of three-point attempts in an NCAAW game.
Wow.
With 79 threes attempted in one game.
That is, wow, I'm shocked by that number.
79 three attempts.
I wonder how that game looked.
You just dribble the ball across half court and shoot. Like, to get 79 field goal attempts in a game is hard. Like, for example, 44 right now for Multnomah, 46 for Boise State.
I wonder how many of those were made.
I don't have that. Pull up Jay, beautiful for Maya Hansen.
Yeah, Maya's able to read the defense and pull up. Luckily it went in.
Boise State in this game has attempted 17 threes. Don't think they're approaching the 79 mark.
Absolutely not.
Reach in foul. You don't know the circumstances surrounding the game. Were they significant underdogs and needed to shoot a bunch of threes? Is that just their overall style of play?
Exactly. And was that, how was that to watch is what I want to know.
You see a lot of teams, especially high school, adopt the strategy of they press a lot, they shoot a lot of threes. You know, it was the LeVar Ball, Lonzo Ball phase in the few years back where that high school
definitely.
team, you know, were shooting 40-footers.
Yeah.
Would press, get a steal, shoot another one. Speaking of threes, that one looked good for Shayla Mays. Cross-court pass to the corner shooter, in and out. The Broncos get the rebound. Pasco back up with it. Pasco again. Third chance won't go. How about the fourth? Yes.
In close games, typically offensive rebounds can be the difference maker.
Now, it's a category that Boise State was strong all season long, was rebounding. Extra step, travel call on Multnomah. Last year, Boise State out-rebounded opponents by 6 per game. But the problems in the math game got consistently outshot from 3 and committed more turnovers. So even with the extra shot attempts that comes with rebounding, the other factors in the box score working against the Broncos. Mandy Simpson gets fouled. She's hoping to be one of the many to change some of those negative trends. Years at Oklahoma. She was injured last season. 4 points, 5 boards a game as a member of the Sooners. Front rim's the free throw. It is the season of jazz hands. They are back as free throw shooters at the line. And Mandy Simpson makes the second. Straightaway 3. Hey, you can't make a free throw, but why not from a little farther back? Elijah Portis. Anna Osley, the answer is pure.
Boise State answers right back.
30% from 3 last year. I know she wants to get that percentage up. A sharpshooter from her days at Chaparral High School in Arizona. Scoring, picking up both ways. And then that pass a little bit out of the reach of Osley. Osley was a starter last season. And through the exhibition and in this game, she's been a reserve, so that's adapting to a new role. Baseline drive, the whistle. Rincan draws the foul. The 86% free throw shooter will head to the free throw line. Up next, the opener at ExtraMile Arena. All Boise State fans could want so far. Boise State in control from the opening tip. Season opener, the start of a new journey. This is what the journey will look like in the non-conference for Boise State. One of the things that stands out to me, you see that road game at UC Davis on the 17th. That is the only true road game that Boise State has in the non-conference.
Yeah, the rest are neutral sites. Coach Presnell said that he planned the schedule very strategically.
Last year, a lot of games on the road in the non-conference, so a lot of these teams making their return. So these fans will get to see some quality opponents come in to Extra Mile for hopefully some really good games. Starting with the Eastern Washington matchup, the annual meeting between the Broncos and the Eagles. First free throw for Rincan, it drops. I believe Eastern Washington and Boise State have played each other for the last 11 years.
Oh, wow.
One of those where it's not a conference game, but it feels like one. You're so familiar. Not to mention, throughout the years, you've had the storyline when Boise State had Brady Hodgins lay up in the foul. It goes for LD Latz. At Boise State with Brady Hodgins, and then Haley and Delaney Hodgins, the older sisters of Brady, were members of Eastern Washington. So you had that family connection, the familiarity. Been some fun games over the years between those two.
Yeah, those kind of connections are always fun.
A lot can't complete the three-point play. You have a family of basketball too, if I recall in our previous conversations.
Yes, I do.
Left wing 3, Mays front iron. Boise State digs out the rebound. Speaking of family, Mary Kay Narrow with the bounce pass. Her sister, Mackenzie Narrow, on the Bronco bench. One of the reserves. Rincan wants to have that one back. Could not finish an open layup. Mary Kay running the show. Wow, the 5'11" point guard has it knocked away.
Wow.
A chance for redemption for Rincan, it goes.
There's a battle between those two.
Rincan has 18 points to lead the way for Multnomah. That's a game high tied with Abby Muse. Kick ball, so a baseline left inbounds. That same inbounds play we saw earlier with Natalie Pasco off the screen, getting the mid-range jumper.
Well, it seems to work. Why not?
I'm sure that play will be scouted out by Mountain West Play.
Oh, definitely.
Well, she's 2 for 2 on it. Multnomah turnover. Boise State recaptures possession. Pasco, strong game in her Boise State debut. That's Trista Hull. For Pasco, 17 points, 7 of 12 shooting. It's funny, we were talking about the Hodginses. Brady for Boise State, Delaney and Haley for Eastern Washington. Well, they are from Pasco, Washington.
Oh.
Now Boise State has a Natalie Pasco, who fires a three. In and out. Hull tips the rebound and corrals it. Sydney McQuarter in, the Boston College transfer for Boise State. Osley, triple, pure as can be.
Another three for Boise State.
Third three for Osley. 10th of the game for Boise State. It doesn't matter the opponent. I know that feels good for the Boise State coaching staff to make double-digit threes. Osley rockets, Hull doubled. Clark gives it up. Another three, lasered in. Natalie Pasco has 20. Boise State with 11 triples.
This is definitely something that can help build the confidence of Boise State for their three-point shooting.
Answer, no. Baseline board. Picked up by Osley. They're calling that Osley bucket, at least for now, a couple of possessions ago with 2, so they're still stuck on 10 threes. We'll see if that gets corrected. Pasco, a little bold that time, not just a spot-up three. Dribble drive to the basket. Portis directing aggressively. Sometimes you need to be direct on the basketball court.
Yeah.
Boise State steal. Pasco rushes the layup. Clark, the follow-up, poke from behind and out of bounds. Boise State has scored the game's last 7.
Sometimes in those instances, you just have to slow your mind down and finish the layup.
58% shooting. For a team that last year ended the season on a 7-game losing streak. I know it doesn't carry over from a season ago, but in a way, feels good to end a losing streak that it might not be on the players' mind, but you know the coaches have the sour taste of last season in the back of their minds. One of the members of last year's team is on the Bronco bench, Rachel Bowers, as a grad assistant coach. She was a 4-year contributor for Boise State as a center, and now she's the center of the analytics department for Boise State.
Now she's on the other side.
Backdoor through the hands of Potts, and the Broncos get the steal. Clark. We're talking a lot about the Hodgins connections. Well, Jada Clark's club basketball coach was Brady's dad, Mike Hodgins.
Wow.
So we're just going with all the connections right now. Left block layup by Sydney McQuieter.
Players coming off the bench to contribute.
A 41-point lead. Late in the quarter. Scoop in and out. Clark with the defense and a whistle. I have one more Hodgins connection to Clark if you want to know it.
Yeah, I definitely want to know.
She played high school for Haley Middleton, who is the sister of Brady. So
there's just so much to unpack.
Yeah, you have just so much. You have a Pasco. You have Eastern Washington coming up next. You have Jada Clark, who's known the Hodgins family for a long time.
Many connections.
I know Brady was at the exhibition last week. Free throw rolls in. Sydney McQuieter, Boston College transfer, second year at Boise State, a lefty shooter, 2 for 2. 92-49. Again, the drama is usually, can a team get 100?
Yeah.
Over 30 points a quarter. End of the quarter. Multnomah can't even get a shot up. Boise State ends the third quarter on an 11-0 run. And Anna Osley, big part of that. Boise State dominates. Jada Clark and Boise State, not much drama tonight, just how they wanted it. Starting the fourth quarter with 92 points. 92-49 over Multnomah, school out of Portland. It's a school that's undergrad is less than 350 students.
Oh, yeah, small school.
Cascade Conference, NAIA.
If you're Multnomah, you're just looking to finish this game as strong as you can.
Last season, at 6-23, they had those 6 wins within the league. Of course, Eastern Washington comes up again. They always do.
There they are.
Well, there you go. That 107-48 win over Pacific Union. That was earlier this year. Their first game, a game that counts. Forced 29 turnovers in that win. 107 points. Boise State might get that total midway through this quarter if the pace continues. Pinching from the corner, which leaves open Heckman, but the Broncos can't take advantage. So Allie Heckman is in, the sophomore from Burns, Oregon. Sydney McQuieter, Jada Clark. And here's McQuieter, spinning, turning, laying, and finishing. 6 points from McQuieter in 5 minutes.
McQuieter came off the bench looking to get her contribution.
It didn't come in the game for a long time, but a good time. She wants to score. Difficult runner by Lindsay Lavrovich. So she's another player entering the game in the fourth quarter for the first time. Mid-range pull-up goes in and out. Graham, whistle on the rebound. Good box out by Trista Hull. Started about 4 games last season.
Once again, those long arms are able to just reach up easily and grab those rebounds, similar to Muse.
Hull had a great stretch in December. Mountain West Freshman of the Week in that stretch. Had to fill in as a starter. High, low pass, McQuieter, great hands. Kicks out to Heckman for 3.
That's another one for Boise State.
The 3's going in. In a way, you feel like you want to save them for future games, especially the way it went last year. Foul called on Lavrovich for Boise State.
Came down with those hands.
Lavrovich, a sophomore out of Gig Harbor, Washington. First free throw up and in. Kalena Gibson, a senior from Hawaii. Last year under 2 points in about 10 minutes per game. Second free throw, nothing but net. A reach-in foul, well outside the arc. Ponce called for the foul. (97 to 51). Boise State 3 away from 100. Boise State did not score 100 in any game last season. Can Heckman get them to 100? Not this time. Hold the board, knocked away. Bailey Dickerson, strong on defense. Lavrovich, guilty of another foul. One of the things that stands out about Boise State this year, which is rare for a team in college basketball in 2022, only school with no transfers coming in and no transfers going out.
Especially in today's climate, you don't see that often.
Is the transfer portal not a thing with Boise State? Heckman for 100. Get out the 100 emoji. The answer from three. Bailey Dickerson responds. Triple digits for Boise State with still 7:15 left. Heckman, her third three. Not this time. What a board. Lavrovich sticks it in.
Oh, it's a nice rebound.
Across the board, 50, 50, 80, the shooting percentages. Smooth form for Mallory Hatfield, the Boise native. Hull did not make a three last season. Trista Hull missed all 9 attempts. Lavrovich's three off. McQuire the O board, double teamed. Mid-range jumper, Heckman off. Third chance to score. McQuire, entry pass, Hull. That's the form that she showed in December last year. Great drop step.
It's a nice cut.
And Jada Clark just gobbles up that pass. Boise State with 13 threes in this game. That's top 10 in school history. Threes made in the game. Didn't get a chance to make their 14th because of that turnover. Baseline J, halfway down, pops out Hatfield, and here come the Broncos. So that was Gibson who missed that jumper. Clark all the way to the rim, reach and foul, and she'll likely head to the line. Jada Clark chiseling her way inside. So she's at the stripe. Mackenzie Nero enters the game for Boise State for the first time.
Almost every Boise State player has scored.
14 have entered. Nero, Bays, Simpson, Muse, Lalott, Osley, Hull, Hansen, Clark, Pasco, Lavrovich, Heckman, McQuire, and Nero. Double dribble called on Multnomah. So it's getting away from Coach Tim Beery and company. And again, this is Sort of what you expect when you take one of these games. A challenge for the NAIA team against Gordy Presnell's Broncos. See right there, first game over 100 since back in 2018. January in a game against San Jose State. Back in those days, San Jose State, the ultimate up and down games. Could score a lot of points. Those would be good for the stat sheet. Lindsay Lavrovich deposits 2 more.
Boise State is now at 107.
48-point lead. Can they make it an even 50-point advantage? From the corner for a 51-point lead, it's there. Lindsay Lavrovich, 3-ball number 14. Timeout, Multnomah. It's hard to believe Boise State only 4 made threes a game last season. It might have taken them a month to hit 14 threes.
What a way to come out.
All right, Bailey, we have drama here at ExtraMile Arena for the season debut.
All right, what is it?
The drama. Boise State with 110 points with 4:33 left in the fourth. School record for points in a game, 117. That was back in 1988 against NNU.
If they can beat that, what a statement to make coming back after a season like last season's.
Where it was tough to score, tough to make threes. Sydney McQuieter guilty of the foul, reaching in on Zoe Petrie. Well, you're right. Scoring 117 in a season opener would be just what you would want as a staff heading in to what is a challenging non-conference. More on that coming up next. Boise State 7 points away from tying a school record for points in a game. It's good to have basketball back at ExtraMile Arena. Boise State men's basketball gets their season started in a couple of days. 7 o'clock right here in Boise. They'll take on South Dakota State. The Jackrabbits made the NCAAW tournament last season. So it's 2 NCAA tournament teams going at it here at ExtraMile Arena coming up on Wednesday. Doesn't get much better than that to start the season. They had 30 wins last year.
Yeah, definitely a good team. Interested to see how they'll do this year. Got some new transfers in.
Out of the timeout, runner in and out by Ponce. Boise State ball as it goes out of bounds. So it's the women's basketball squad getting the ExtraMile Arena season started. The men's basketball on Wednesday. Election day tomorrow. Make sure you get out there and vote. One of the things that throughout college basketball they've done now, which is a great thing, is they don't have any games scheduled on Election Day, recognizing the importance of having not just the fans go out there and vote who would watch a college basketball game, but the players and coaches as well, student athletes and coaches. Boise State 7 points away from a school record, tying it 117. NNU back in 1988. That's the drama that's left. Here's a Mackenzie Narrow three. The younger sister of Mary Kay Narrow, her first three. 113 for Boise State. Again, 117's the record for 116. That one's front of the iron.
You have 3 minutes to make it. 3 minutes.
3 for Multnomah straight away. Stonebarger off the back of the rim. 15 made threes for Boise State in this game. That's tied for the second most made threes in school history. Allie Heckman racing to the rim, and the sophomore will head to the free throw line.
Was able to drive hard and draw the contact. Hopefully she knocks down her free throws. Boise State's been shooting pretty well from the free throw line.
12 of 16, that's 75%. Last year at just 64% as a team. You'll learn the announcer's jinx in time. So you're saying they're shooting well. One hits the back of the rim. It's not a real thing. Joe Davis during the World Series, the play-by-play announcer for Fox, kept mentioning the no-hitter, as he should, because you're the play-by-play announcer. You're supposed to tell the audience what's going on. And guess what? The Astros kept up the no-hitter. Much to my dismay. I'm a Phillies fan. Multnomah turnover. I was at Game 3 of the World Series, though. That was the game that the Phillies won.
Oh, wow.
Hit 5 homers. That was a blast. Mackenzie Narrow for 3 from the corner, in and out. That would have tied the school record with 117 points. Still have 2 minutes and 5 seconds to get it. Scoop with the right, not even close. Boise State off and running. Clark, chest pass.
That's
on
a nice
rope.
find. Way to look up by Clark.
Lindsey Lavrovich on the receiving end. 116 for Boise State. 2 points away from setting a new school record. Wonder if the players know. I doubt it. They just
I doubt it.
They just want to add it to their point total. How about the box score? Game number 1 of the year. 1:30 left. Clark. Heckman. Handoff. Lavrovich. Barrels into the lane. And an offensive foul. So perhaps maybe one more possession for Boise State. They're trying to get points 117 and 118.
They're so close.
Caitlin wins. Cut off. Left wing 3. Caitlin wins. Gets it to go. The grad student from Stevenson, Washington. A minute left. Boise State 116-62 lead. Can they score here and set a new school record for points in a game? McQuarrie back out to the wing. Lavrovich, a 3. There it is. A new school record for points in a game for Boise State. 119 in the season opener.
What a statement for a team that struggled in offense last year.
Beating a record that has stood since 1988.
Coming out strong with this season opener.
Again, against Northwest Nazarene, Boise State scored 117 back in 1988. That is the most points that they have scored in a game until tonight. With 119 against Multnomah with the help of 16 threes.
Like you said earlier, I wonder if the girls know that they just broke the record.
There's a secret. They might have heard us say it on the court side. They might have heard it from us. Lavrovich's pass is knocked out of bounds. 18 is the school record for threes in a game. So Boise State will be short of that. 5 players in double-figure scoring. Everybody who has played has scored. All 14 who have entered have found the scoring column. Heckman. McQuarrie off the rim. Tip up by Heckman. Adding on to the record, 121. And Lavrovich a steal. Clark with 3 seconds. Coach Presnell yelling to hold the ball. Don't need to add anymore. 121-64 is the final for Coach Presnell's team in the season opener. They set a school record for points in a game.
Boise State has proven that they can't shoot the 3, but will it continue on for the rest of the season? That is the question.
A team that last year averaged 62 a game. That's just about double their scoring average from last season.
Well, what a better way to come out tonight.
Keep it here. We'll be joined coming up by Abby Muse, who was the one who got all this scoring started. 18 points. Second on the team in scoring. 121-64. It's just jaw-dropping to see the 1-2-1 across the board. Actually, get Elodie Lalott with us before Muse. So Elodie Lalott joining us post-game. The junior starting a new season. So Elodie, we appreciate the time. All right, we got to start with 121 points. I don't know if you know this, but it's the most a Boise State team has ever scored in a game.
Oh, really?
What does that mean?
It feels great. It's great. We haven't had 100 points since I've been here, so it's a really good feeling.
So you know that. Well, January 2018 was the last time they scored 100, so that was, of course, before you got here. So what's it like? New season, starting another one of these grinds that you're so familiar with at this point. Being a junior, plenty of experience.
It's great. I'm really excited for this season. I think we have a really good team, and I think we're getting to know each other and starting to learn how to play with each other, so I think we have a really good season coming.
How does this season compare to the team that you've been with the previous 2 years?
I think it's different. The vibes are different. I think we're just closer this year, and we've done a lot of we started practicing early in the summer to make sure we get to know each other and know how to learn and play with each other. So I think it's different than the past 2 years.
So what are some of the things away from the practice floor that this team has done to get closer together?
Just a lot of team bonding. I think we hang out a lot outside of basketball, which makes it way better to play on the court together. So
What's been your favorite team bonding experience?
Honestly, just going over someone's house and playing games, honestly, watching TV together and stuff, just silly stuff.
Well, just hanging out, that might be the recipe for success. You put up 121 in the first game of the year. Congratulations. Stay healthy. Looking forward to seeing what this team can accomplish.
Thank you so much.
It's Elodie Lalott for Boise State, helping the Broncos get the win. 12 points, 6 rebounds, 5 of 8 shooting, and 17 minutes of work. Not only did Boise State play 14 players, 13 of the 14 had at least 10 minutes.
Oh, wow.
So not only getting some action, getting a lot of action. Abby Muse with us, junior from Brentwood, California. Second on the team in scoring in this game. 18 points, added 10 rebounds. Starting another season. Thank you so much for the time. I got to start, same thing I asked Elodie, 121 points. Did you know that was the most that a Boise State team has ever scored in school history?
I did not, but I figured it was up there. Everyone was just hitting their shots and doing their thing, so it was really good to see everyone in the flow.
Is that what it was looking like in practice leading up?
I would say, yeah. I mean, throughout the past few weeks, we've had ups and downs, but I would say the last week we've been really locked in, especially after Friday. That's just been fuel for our fire, finally getting out here in front of all of Boise and just playing for everybody. So I think that's really fueled our fire.
Well, you were clearly the go-to player out of the gate. You had 10 of your points in the first quarter. You played in these exhibition games against teams that might not have the size to match up with you. So when you have that kind of size advantage, what goes into your mind on how to take advantage of it?
Yeah, it's definitely an advantage, like you said, but also like me and Elle were talking about just not getting in trouble with fouls and just watching, because refs will call that since we are, taller than some of these players, just having that balance of being aggressive but not being too aggressive, that we put ourselves in a position where we can't be on the floor.
We were talking with Coach Gordy Presnell yesterday, and he was joking about how you are, despite being 6'3", the shortest member of your family.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So what's it like to be the one in your family who has to ask for help to get the top shelf?
I don't know about that,
Okay.
but no, my siblings definitely, like my little brother, he's a freshman now, and he'll come up to me and he'll be like, "Hey, shorty," and I'm like, "Oh my gosh." So it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
There you go. Well, congratulations on the win. Stay healthy. Hopefully we'll see this team accomplish quite a bit this year.
Yeah, thank you so much.
There again, Abby Muse, part of the victorious Broncos. New school record, 121 points to begin the year against Multnomah. For Bailey Hawkins and our entire crew on the Mountain West Network, my name is Chris Lewis. Thanks so much for watching. Boise State smooth in the debut.